2, 1, go.
Edge Radio.
It's Edge Radio Australia, a very entertaining part of the week. I'm going to say that straight up. An old mate, a great bloke, an ordinary guy, okay? It is Brendan Quartermaine. Good to see you, buddy.
Hi, my name's Aaron Malloy. With the real Aaron Malloy, please stand up.
I could stand up. Well, but I'm old, mate. The back, all that sort of thing. Yeah.
What a week.
What a week.
What a week. I gotta love Australians. Even as dumb as the Victorians are, they've come up with some great ideas lately. And it's going to become mainstream. Like,
it really
ditch
is.
the witch. I mean, you got to love it.
Oh, you've got to love it. But what's better? Fire the liar. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
Fire the liar
Yep.
is pulling something like $10,000 an hour.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's over the million now. And I'm like, and Elbo's getting on there. Oh, let's just prove it. Come on, show me where the money is. Like, and look, Donald Trump got into presidentship, right?
Sure.
In America, because the little people backed him.
That's right.
So they weren't just getting one big votes from like money from the big guy. They were getting millions of dollars,
huge amounts
of from people sending $40-$50.
Well, we've all had enough, mate. We've had enough. We've had enough. I'm going to butt in.
Yep.
Okay. Last night I had the absolute pleasure and honour to be part of the event in Midland for Pauline Hanson. Obviously, One Nation as a party, and it was magnificent. There was at least 400 people in the room.
I heard there was standing room only.
It was standing room only. Absolutely. Yeah.
It was. And I heard there was thousands and thousands of people protesting across the road, and in fact, they actually said there was 300.
There is no way there's 300 in the world. I mean, I was there, mate. I saw it with my own eyes, and I will be fair, okay? When I arrived, there wasn't that many, okay? But then, like all professional protesters, guess what arrived? A bus.
A bus.
Yes, a bus full of protesters, and that upped their numbers quite considerably.
Was it $35 an hour for protesting now?
Oh, is that
the going rate? I don't know. I'm just starting a rumour here.
I need a new gig. Hang on. But that's what they did. They bussed in the protesters, and, look, I mean, I stood there, and I thought I'd be nice to them, okay? Because it's good. It's an important reason.
You being nice.
You've got two ears and one mouth, okay? Yeah. There's a reason. So I was offering free samples of soap for them because the great unwashed were there, and they were just look. Honestly, when you hear people, the comments that were coming out of their mouths were embarrassing. It shows a complete lack of intelligence. Now, I'm there, and all jokes aside, I'm prepared to listen to their opinions. I'm prepared to, if they can educate me. But when you are just talking, well, you're just gobbledygook, talking points that have been given to you by socialist organisations. Yep, that's right. Oh my word! Like it is just so stupid. It's fundamentally that's the greatest word for it. Like you were just
if you're protesting against Pauline Hanson, that means that you're for pornography. You're for child abuse. You are for because we're not. The left is all for that side. It just seems to be grooming children. It just seems to be like this space,
Yeah,
and then. If you're voting for this, you're agreeing to it. Are you brain dead or what?
Well, perhaps you are.
Don't you say that to me. You said, perhaps you are. I mean, yeah.
Oh, jeez, you read my mind. No, all seriousness. Okay, like I was there with a friend of mine, Moretta. Okay, yeah. Moretta is a very proud Aboriginal woman. Love it a bit. Okay, she calls me her big brother. I call her my little sister. And like, it's just, I mean. Okay, I'll give you an example. So Miranda and I are having a big cuddle out the front, okay? Yeah. We're having a big hug. We haven't seen each other for a few months. It's a nice moment.
Yeah.
And I'm watching the socialists on the other side, and they don't know what the hell to do because they're completely freaking out. They're going, hang on, there's this fat bloke in an Australia flag shirt. I was wearing my Australia flag. Okay, and he's hugging this Aboriginal woman who's draped in the Australian flag. They were having a moment. They didn't know what to do, so then they started screaming. They were literally screaming racist stuff at us. And I'm thinking, you're attacking the people that you pretend to represent. My ethnicity. Okay,
I'm gobsmacked.
Are you really?
Absolutely. I'm in awe of the fact that we are such a nation. And such a loving – we love our people.
We do.
We love our neighbours. We love our friends.
Yep.
And I know that you're like this. I have no qualms about anybody doing what they need to do. Everybody needs the right to be able to feed their food, feed their family, do what they go. But when they start to lose track of what their reality is, and their indoctrination becomes their new reality, that's where it becomes so confusing.
Well, here is the thing, mate. Guess what it is? It's a cult. It's an absolute cult, and there's a I don't know, a standardized look that goes through the group. There's a standardized way of speaking. It's obviously a standardized way of thinking. And again, if you came to me and you said, Aaron, I've got these opinions about socialism, right? I have my heart has got very, very high social standards as far as I'm concerned. So, okay, I judge a society on the way it treats its most vulnerable. Okay, so that I have some socialist ideas, I guess. I want the common man, I want the everyday person to have a good life.
The ordinary guy.
The ordinary guy.
Having a good life,
I want you to have a great life, okay? But that is not to the detriment of everybody else.
No.
Like, okay, you don't rise as a people by dragging others down.
No.
And all this negativity and all these horrible things that they were screaming and carrying on. As I say, like they say that they're there. They were literally doing the chants about always will be Aboriginal land while screaming at an Aboriginal woman because they were angry because she was hugging a white guy, right? I mean, sorry, that's a cult.
Yeah.
That's a cult.
You've really, and this is individually, this is for you guys, you really have to be very careful who's coaching you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? We should make this a subject of this little conversation because we've gone off on the rant. That's what we do every week. But let's talk about coaching then, mate. Let's talk about, okay, life coaching, business coaching, as a whole, I guess.
I honestly, I mean, I despise the word coaching, okay?
I'm so glad you said that because I was about to have a go. All right, go.
So the word coaching means that that a person that says that they're a coach implies that they know more than you do about anything in society or whatever it is that you're wanting to discover. Yep. In some cases, all right, the coach needs to be that little bit more knowledgeable, i.e. football, soccer, the sporting field.
Sure.
If you're being coached by somebody that's not successful in that sporting field, I don't really think that they're the right people to have. At the moment, we've got this influx of coaches, and I'm nothing personal. Some of them are great, and I use them. Yep. They're 25 years of age, trying to tell me how to make millions of dollars. And I sit there and go, are you there yet? Are you there yet?
And it's not even, and I'm sorry, okay, at 25 years, okay, when I was 25 years old, I thought I was king of that island, okay? I thought I knew everything, okay? I was so sure of myself. We did, yeah. And I look back, and I just want to go back in time and slap myself across the face.
Oh, shit. You know, somebody said, if you could go back to prior to the internet and all that, what would you do first? And I wrote, build the internet so I'd make millions.
You would. Oh, that's a great point.
Absolutely. And I just everybody else is there going, turn the radio on, listen to some music, I'd go outside and I'd play and all this. I wrote in big letters, I would invent the internet to make billions because knowing what we know. But but coaches out there, look, there's a massive market. If you're 55, 60, 65 years of age, you have so much information, so much knowledge. There is somebody out there. There's 8 billion people, right? If you want to be successful as a coach, you only need 1,000 people across the world, right? To pay you, I don't know, $3,500. You're on $3.5 million a year.
Okay, is that okay? I'll let you do the maths.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, cool. But there has got to be 1,000 people out there that want what you've got to share with.
Now, part of what that is your failures and your falling and your mistakes that you make. Your recovery. And I don't know if I'm good or bad for this. I absolutely judge people, okay? I know, it's so bad to judge people. No, guess what? I judge people on the way they get up. If people have fallen, or bad stuff's come their way, I absolutely judge them on the way that they climb, the way that they get back up, because that's the sort of person I want to be aligned with. Somebody who goes and goes, okay, well, I've had adversity, I've had this, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to find opportunity in it. That's the people I want my advice from.
Some people don't know who this person is, but you should learn. Alan Pease was one of the greatest coaches, if you like, in Australian history.
Yep.
Do you know that he failed 3 times?
No, I didn't know that.
Before he became successful.
Did not know.
And he got there on his 3rd wife. Okay, because the support was there.
Okay,
I'm not saying that my support comes from my wife.
Yeah, you're a very lucky man.
I am, and I'm so honored. She's such a beautiful person.
Agreed.
She's and she's still. I mean, she's still got that 20-year-old body. In my mind, it doesn't matter.
You shouldn't have gone there, but
you know what I mean. But she's the love of my life. But she's also my support, my rock. When I was going through my massive depression, and I was in that depression coma, she was out working, making the money, which I should have been doing, but I was not in a space to do.
Yeah, but that's what good couples do.
Yeah.
You lift, because sometimes you're going to be down, sometimes you're going to be up. That's how life works, okay? Yeah. And a good relationship is someone who will actually support you when you need to be, the 20% of the relationship. It can't always be 50-50. Sometimes it's 80, sometimes it's 20, sometimes it's 40, sometimes it's 60, whatever.
Yeah.
The maths has got to, each person in that relationship has to support the other.
Absolutely. It's got to be a 50-50. It's got to be 100%. Yep. It's got to be 110%.
All right.
If you want to work on your relationship with your wife, then what would you do? You may want to get yourself a coach. I've got a relationship coach.
Okay.
That looks after that. Her name's Nikki. She's a beautiful lady. Okay. She keeps us in line.
Right.
And I've got a coach.
Well, can I interrupt for a moment?
Yeah.
How many coaches should you have?
We're going to get into that shortly.
Okay.
Because this is what I'm heading to right now.
Oh, okay.
If you go to an AFL game now, you don't have one coach.
No.
You have 5.
That's right.
There's 5 coaches for every quarter of the oval.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Offensive, defensive, yada, yada.
Yeah, that's right. Who's running the middle seat? The main coach is talking to them all, but they're coaching them through there. And in fact, there's no good teaching a fullback player like I was to play and kick a goal.
No.
What a waste of time.
At least you can kick 150 metres, you'll be right.
That's right. I can kick the hell out of a ball. I don't care where it goes, as long as it ain't anywhere near the back pocket.
Yep. Get it out of there. That's right. And you need the right coach to teach you those skills.
Yep. And that's the thing that I learned from what's his name? The one that fell off the helicopter, out of the back of the tractor.
Barry Cable?
Barry Cable.
Yeah.
One of the things Barry Cable always pushed when we played football as kids and young people was working on getting it out of the back pocket,
Right.
And we had a coach for that. Now we've got coaches. If you want marriage counselling, then don't go to Aaron Malloy.
Definitely. Don't go. If you want a successful marriage, I can look at it the other way.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what not to do.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
there you go.
But if you want a successful marriage counsellor, I will tell you the secret. All right? The secret is chocolate. All right?
If only I'd met you 30 years ago.
Yeah, the secret is chocolate. People go, what do you mean chocolate? You could give your wife chocolate, make her fat, and stay at home. No, nothing like that. It's chocolate. What it means is that during the course of the day, when you're at work and you bought some smoko and you brought a Mars bar or something and you left it in the bottom of your bag and you get home and you give it to your wife when you get home, she thinks, she then goes, he bought me a bar of chocolate at 12 o'clock today, therefore he's thought about me during the course of the day.
Yep.
I haven't got the heart to tell her that it was buy one, get one free. But anyway, it's that chocolate, it's that thought pattern that we create on the way through.
Yeah.
And I can talk for hours on the benefit of that communication.
I think, and do talk about it, okay? Because we all need better relationships.
If you wanted to be successful as a builder, then you would find a successful builder. And I had those. I've had some I had this guy years ago, one of my early coaches, and his name was Peter Marshall. And Peter was a wicked bike rider, like motorcyclist. He was tats covered in him. I never argued with him, all right? Because as far as I was concerned, I was paying him to tell me what I needed to do. Even to this day, I still use the systems that he put in place.
Okay, so
how many coaches should you have? As many as it's going to take for you to get where you want to be.
Yeah, I want to ask you this. What attributes, it's a big word for me. Okay.
Attributes.
Yes, can I buy a vowel, please? Attributes should I be looking for in these coaches?
First of all, you've got to find a synergy. Make sure that you're synergetically together. Both of you have to have the same concepts and goals.
I like that.
And most importantly, if you've got a coach and they're not recommending you read a book, I recommend you get rid of the coach.
Is that right? Yeah, but I'm not a big book reader.
Doesn't matter, mate. You got a phone.
Yeah.
I do not listen to the radio,
except
for Edge Radio.
As you should, yes.
Absolutely,
good
when I
man.
need to it. Most of the time I'm listening to somebody talking to me on, reading.
Well, that's kind of what we do here. But absolutely. I mean, I think conversations are unbelievably important. So I would rather be listening to, if someone's listening to a podcast, it's kind of like reading a book. Let's face it. You're letting people do the hard work for you. Yeah. Or listening to, like I say, an Edge podcast where it's conversation, because you get to be a fly on the wall, even and listen and gain this knowledge from people who know that subject really well.
When you are looking for a coach, feel the back of your head. If the back of your hair sticks up, right, if you have some.
It happens all the time, mate.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you get that feeling in the back. You guys know what I'm talking about, okay? And you feel, I want you to ask the question to yourself, are they coming from a positive point or a negative point? Are they coming to you with a narcissistic point of view that controls you to do what you need to do? If they are, walk away.
Well, they're there to serve you, not them.
No, that's exactly right. And narcissists in reality are serving themselves. You'll see them all the time. I see coaches all the time. I've got 20 million people that I look after all the time, and I'm not going to mention his name.
Yep.
You know what I mean? There's all these people that we deal with. I'm dealing with this and I'm dealing with that. It ain't you. It's nothing to do with you.
You should be focused on the person.
And that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Nothing else matters.
Yeah, thoroughly agree with that.
Okay,
so attribute would be, someone who's not a narcissist. That's always great to start.
Absolutely.
Okay.
There are, and if you understand the levels of narcissism, there are people that are communal narcissists.
Oh, yeah. There's no question.
They actually get off, right, trying to tell you what to do.
Right.
I have a thing. It's like this called Navigator, right? I can have a navigator direct me in what to do, but if you tell me where to go, I'll tell you where to get out. And we've had that. I had that with my son. I fucking stopped the car and said, get out.
Yeah.
If you don't want to, navigate me and tell me how to get where I've got to go, and you're just telling me what to fucking do, sorry, that's it. End of story.
Yeah. You're not getting what you need out of that relationship.
That's right. And that's why, and I actually had to let him go and become a navigator for someone else to become one of the best navigators in West Australia.
Put this in context, okay? Yeah. He's talking actually in
car rallies.
Exactly. Rallying and racing, okay? Obviously, yes. Yeah. So, and it's a partnership, mate. That is an incredible partnership that has to work.
When Anna and I were in that car together and we finally zoned in, it was like Aaron was just the voice in my head. Just the voice in my head.
Well, that's a good start, because I have a lot of voices in my head. So if I could share them with other people, it's always a good start.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
No, but teamwork is a great thing. And finding a coach, I think this is certainly what I'm taking from it. Yeah. You find a coach that you sync with. The good old synergy is very important. They might be an amazing coach, but if they're not the coach that works for your personal traits, then they are not the right one.
No, that's right. And don't be afraid to move on.
That's right.
In fact, just say to them, listen, this relationship isn't working.
Yep.
I've got a commitment to you of $2,000, whatever you've paid.
It's time we saw other people.
Absolutely, absolutely. Look, I'm not going to go ahead. Be strong. Yeah. Be prepared to do that. I've done it myself, where I've gone, this relationship is there. I understand that everything is like a carton of milk, all right?
Okay.
A carton of milk has a use-by date, and eventually it's going to curdle. It's going to go off, or you're going to finish drinking the milk and you're going to throw the carton away.
Okay.
So those are the type of things that you got to think about while you're taking on a coach. How long is this coach going to be with me? Is it only here? Most of them, if they're there for longer than too long, you know how long I'm talking about, some of you guys, then therefore you need to step away, take the information that they've learned and think. I go to seminars, and I do a lot of seminar work, talking to seminars, and go there. If you go to a seminar and you go, gee, that was a really good information, and then you walk away and you don't implement that information, it was a waste of money.
Yep.
Most people implement only 3 to 5%.
Wow.
Of what they do. So you got to keep going back to get that. And if you'd gone to the first one, written all the notes down and did what you had to do, you probably would have been successful. Which is where I understand that, and then understanding.
But people have also got to be in the right place in their life, okay, to be ready to accept that.
And that's the point, readiness. You can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink it.
That's right.
Here's a thought for you. How many psychiatrists does it take to change a light globe?
Tell me.
It's going to take a lot of time.
Yep.
It's going to cost a lot of money. But most importantly, the light globe's going to have to want to change.
It's true. Look. Information is nothing without action.
Absolutely.
Right.
In fact, if you have a dream without action, it's a wish. All right?
Yeah.
So in other words, but if you have a action without a dream, That's called depression. All right? But if you put them together, you will change the world. So if you have action and a dream, you will change the world.
Well, how about we get a dream, then we get a plan, and then we put it into action?
Well, that's what we're here. That's what we've been talking about the whole time. So it's dream, believe, create, surrender, right? Shine.
Okay.
So dream, create. So you dream of the idea.
Sure.
You create the outcome.
Yep.
Right. You put it all together. You then surrender it to the universe and say, "This is what I'm after," and then you will shine. And this is this has been talked about for centuries.
It's a long time, my friend. I want to just interrupt, if I may. I've got the little symbol that's come up to tell me that people are watching and have got questions or comments that are coming through other social media places and what kind of carry. So, which we absolutely love. But unfortunately, we can't see them. We can see them if they come through the Edge Radio Australia Facebook page or the Edge Radio Australia YouTube page. And if you're on those, I'd love it if you'd like, subscribe and all those things. It's really, really helpful. But obviously, I want to see these questions. It's great to see that.
Well, we had some questions from last week.
We did.
And I'd like to just say a big warm welcome to Chris for joining one of my communities.
That is great.
Yeah.
That is absolutely
So he's
brilliant.
come along and he's joining one of our communities, and he's committing, first of all, his mind and his soul to understanding how we're going to build this community together with him. So it's step by step.
Absolutely. And getting the right mindset is just imperative, isn't it? Absolutely imperative.
Actually, while we were doing this, I'd like to just say I am totally sponsored by, Edge Radio, because obviously I love them, but by the 1111 Ultraverse.
I'll pop it up on the screen there for you, mate. Yeah,
Ultraverse.com. Have a look around. If you're interested in purchasing gold, this is a way to do it.
Okay.
It's about 6 days from going viral.
Okay. We're like some kind of viral. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so many people are talking about buying gold at the moment.
Absolutely.
It's just a theme that's running through so much investment from grassroots to right at the very top financially.
Well, there are many crypto companies out there that are trying to sell gold.
Sure.
We are gold backed.
Gold backed.
So therefore we have the gold in service.
Sure.
Right? Somewhere in a vault that we can offer these things to.
Tangible, real stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay,
absolutely.
Okay.
So anyway, but have a look around.
Yeah.
If you've got any questions, feel free to come back to me through Edge Radio, and we can talk about that. But look, finding that coach, and by the way, if you wanted to be somebody that was being coached in crypto, then you would call me. Okay. All right, somebody like myself, or get on to the guys at Orange Brick Road, because they are great guys.
Brilliant.
Yeah, they're brilliant. And
Could not disagree with you
find the best coach for you. All right, if you want to coach on building, fine. This is what I do. I'm a builder's coach.
Sure.
I teach basically groups of people in small communities how to build a house and then put it together. And we use our building company, our skills and everything else to help get that together. And
for those who are just who are watching for the first time, this is probably a good comment or point to bring this forward.
Yeah.
Because you are building communities. There's the difference, okay? So can you give me a little bit of a rundown, as I say, for people who haven't seen it before, the business model, if you like, on the building front?
Everybody that builds, or everybody that works on our building site, except for like some contractors, we need to get them in, but everybody that's working on the building site has a vested interest in the house.
That's incredible.
So when we sell the house, the profit goes to the community.
So and okay, having a vested interest also means the quality is different. It's higher quality.
Yes,
you've got that interest in it.
Absolutely. And the guys that are working on it, when you look at a house and you go, the old Italian built this house, and you could tell because you can actually, after 35, 40, 50 years, still feel the love that was put into that house. And when you're cooking a cake, you can see some cakes and that somebody's put so much love and attention to detail into that house, into that cake. I mean, we have the same thing happening with these houses.
Sure.
And we will get to the point when somebody buys this house, we will put a plaque on it that says this was built by a community.
Interesting. I mean, I'm a car guy. Everybody knows that. And whenever I see, I've been very, very lucky, driven some pretty cool cars. I actually lifted the bonnet on a mate's car, very lovely car, a couple of years ago. And it had...
Is that drill?
It is. Oh, what's it? Aston Martin V12. Oh my God! And I got to drive it. Like, oh, Pete, you're a legend. Anyway,
welcome back.
Can I be alone for a bit? You should have heard it, mate. You should have heard it. Anyway,
I can just imagine.
I
can feel it, mate.
V12 Aston Martin. Oh my God. Anyway, I got to drive this amazing car, but when I opened the bonnet, there's a plaque there, and it says the mechanic's name who built the engine.
Oh, mate.
And like, that's so special. Yeah. And I mean, that's a very special car. But if you've got that pride in the house that you're building, that is cool.
Yeah. So we don't even, we actually know who the owner of the house will be.
Yep.
But we've never met them. So we've actually.
Talk to me about that.
Well, because we're being coached through this whole process.
Yeah.
When we're dealing with all of our teams, we go, who's the final house?
Sure.
So, for example, the ones that we're doing out at Quinns Rock, right, where we can see the ocean. So what are they going to be? They're going to be surfers. So we're going to have three young boys living in that house in the back section of the house, which is independent of the main living.
Can I move in instead?
There's a corridor between the two. What's in the corridor?
Yeah.
There's racks to put your surfboard. There's a shower to wash your surfboard down. There's a shower for you to wash the sand off. And the whole deck is washable. So you can wash yourself on the deck and it goes through to the underneath.
That's lifestyle.
Yeah.
That is not living in a standard 4x2,
No.
you know, that just, cookie cutter, this is what they've sold us. That is building a lifestyle, mate.
And upstairs you've got a stairwell for the kids to come upstairs and hang out in the activity room watching the movies with the family. So these kids are between 12 and 16.
Okay.
All right, we already know. Mum and Dad, we already know they are medical background. We've already everything that we've imagined that this client will be is there. And we already know in our hearts, because we've preset this whole thing, that that's who will buy the house.
If I was a 16-year-old, a 12-year-old, or whatever, any of those kids, I'm never moving out, mate. No.
It's designed that way.
Yeah. And we need to think multi-generational.
Yes.
We really do. The world's changing. I mean, I spoke about this last week. I've got a mate who's they're converting their house to make it multi-generational because to give their child the best opportunity in life, right? I love that.
Well, we built a kitchenette. We built a kitchenette in the boys' little room,
right,
so that they have their own space, so where they can cook their spaghetti over there.
Oh, the 2-minute noodles, mate.
The 2-minute noodles. You know what I mean?
Go on.
So they got that there, and you know, and if mum and dad are entertaining adult guests,
sure,
they don't have to be involved. They can just put them out there.
This kind of goes back. Isn't it funny how, you know, what's old becomes new again?
Yeah.
Okay. You said before about the Italian families.
Yes.
And the love. I love old Italian houses for that very reason, right? Because you got multi-generational stuff going on, a couple of kitchens, whatever. Nonna lives in the house. And I think
an outside kitchen, not an outside barbecue.
Yeah.
An outside kitchen with, you know.
Oh, because this, mate, is genuine community.
Yeah. That's
right.
So we're designing this community, but we're building it with community, by community. You know,
there's a theme here.
Yeah, that's right. But and then wait for it.
Yeah,
it's actually paid for within the community.
Okay.
So we are going to get to a point very quickly where we no longer require banks. Very quickly.
How amazing would that be?
I'll give you some idea. When we put all the assets together in one group, we're over $30 million in assets.
Right.
If you take those same people and you go, okay, let's put them in, and we combine their income as a group, we're over $1 million a year income.
Okay.
So what can you do if you had $1 million a year income?
What can you achieve?
That's right. What else can you achieve? And you keep going through it and you're designing these new houses to create community and build it. And people are going to come to us in the droves and they're going to go, I want a house built by the community. Yes, it'll be under a banner of a building company because that's what
this is how the world works. One thing I'm going to bring up is this. I've had friends who have bought houses in these big firms, okay? And I don't want to knock that end of town or whatever. I mean, everyone's got
just a number.
But you're just a number. Yeah. That's right. Like when I built my house, again, granted, many, many years ago, and I built a house, my first home, and I decided, I mean, I went off the reservation. I did it very differently. I decided I'm in the bush. I want a timber house, which was very unusual at the time, and I wanted particular things. I wanted Western red cedar. So I was so involved. I did the planning myself, but I spoke to the builder so much. It was one-on-one. We had a great relationship, and between us, we built the house that I wanted because I'm different. I wanted a different house. But my friends just were stuck in that hole because we're the suburb, they're stuck to these designs, and no,
we're building a granny flat right at the moment out of town.
Sure.
Out towards Bircham, I think it's called.
Yeah.
One of the boys that was working on site was working away, and the tenant came in and said to the worker, "I'd like to rent this when it's finished because it's amazing."
Yeah.
And he said, "I can organise that because I've got a share in the property." In his mind, I can organise that. Went back to one of our real estate people, and our real estate guys aren't our traditional real estate people. These guys are coaches.
Okay.
They're trained as
Very
coaches.
different.
They're not just your ordinary real estate.
Sure.
Real estate guys. We're teaching them to be coaches. If you want to join us as a real estate rep, then understand you'll be doing a coaching course.
Okay.
If you want to join me,
if
you want to join me as a building rep, you would be doing a coaching course. You'll learn to become a coach, an NLP, whatever it is that you want to specialize in. Why is that? Because in that point, you stop just talking, which is what I'm doing now, and start to listen.
Should we have a moment of silence so we can all listen? Hey. Look, this is just great. I'm going to circle back a little bit on the granny flat thing. I know this is not the subject we were talking about today, but I do want to bring this forward. So from my point of view, as a person, I've always had houses and all of that. I'm in a different place in my life right now where I'm, I work a lot. I'm not hanging out the place that I live.
But you're a knight.
Pardon?
You're a knight.
In what respect?
You still work a lot.
Oh, okay. I thought I was Sir Mix-a-Lot, but never mind. But where I was going on this, I don't want a big home anymore. A granny flat is just so good because it's less for me to look after. I can go home. I can relax. Now, it's not for everybody, and it wouldn't have been for me years ago, but for this stage of my life. So when you get someone involved who can, from it's a coaching level, whether it's just listening to what you need, you can build something in your little community there. You can build something that genuinely suits you to move forward.
Yeah. I'm off to New South Wales very shortly just to look at 10 blocks of land, possibly 12.
Okay.
I will design those houses using that community that's building those houses, and we will already know the end user. Okay. Let's take away the word granny flat.
Yeah, it's old.
It's old school.
Team, yeah.
We build studios.
Ooh,
upmarket.
Sounds a bit fancy.
Well, it is. We've got high ceilings, open space. Open invitation. If you want to come and have a look, give me a call.
Okay, cool.
We've got them under construction. One going up in the Midland area.
Yeah.
One out at Bircham at the moment.
Yep.
Just to see. These are just for the granny flats. People are coming, looking at it, going, "Holy dilly, this is a granny flat," and I'm like, "Yeah,
it's changed a lot, mate. It's not what I thought. Yeah.
No, we're building the Taj Mahal in the backyard of some of these houses.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, but that's because of the populace. You have to get that joke.
I got it. Hey, maybe it could be a little dig at me. Who knows?
No, that's it.
No. Look, I'm living in one of these studios, as you put it. Okay.
Yeah.
And mate, I'm freaking loving it.
Yeah.
From the point of view of I got a little garden. I got a little I don't have a lot to look after.
No.
But it's quiet and it's peaceful and it's hassle free, and I can concentrate on the other parts of my life that need my attention, and I'm not cleaning all the time. Oh yes, I love that, man. I love that.
When we talk about community housing or community building, everybody thinks of those places in Balingup, where they've got 100 acres and there's 5 houses on the 100 acres, and they own 100% of the whole.
Yeah,
but they only own 5 acres in reality, but they own 100% of the whole. We're not talking about that sort of community building. We're talking about building it as a community. All right, getting the right people together. There's 2 things that come out of it. One is that if you become one of our community lenders, you will learn skills that beyond your wildest dreams. We have got guys that are mechanics working for us now, and they're putting up houses.
How good!
They're loving it because it's not mechanics.
Yeah,
but every time one of our cars breaks down, he's always out there fixing our cars. He's
got 2 jobs.
yeah, that's right. Basically, well, he's got his normal pay job.
Sure,
but then he's out there doing this, and and even the construction manager's like, I need to get new tires. I don't worry about it. One of the guys will fix it for you. And because that's what we are, we're supporting each other and helping each other to get through to this.
I need a wheel alignment at the moment, mate. Can you hook me up?
No, mate, because of what you drive.
I like it, mate. Right now, it's pulling to the left like it's Anthony Albanese. It's absolutely shocking.
Oh,
right?
really?
It's shocking.
It's pulling to the left. God damn.
Yeah,
okay. So you asked me a question before. How many coaches should you have?
Yes, I want to know. Give me a number.
There isn't one.
Yeah. Okay.
If you want to improve your life in different areas, then find the coach for that area.
Yeah, okay.
There are guys out there that can do a lot of different areas and they can work through it all.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the power of association. Who you hang out with is who you become.
So true.
So if you're hanging out with very wealthy people, then treat them like they're your coach.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Treat them like you're wanting to learn from them.
So true.
And find those people. Hang out who. So we have this definition of a coach must be paid for, it must be done this, must be done that. Don't think like that. I've got coaches in my life that don't even know that they're coaches in my life.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I always go back to them and say, hey, this is what I need done. I've got another one for my emotional space, which is Nikki. She's lovely. That's there. Tony, he's always there when it comes to my business side of my coaching. If I've got another coach, guy called John over East, and I ring John if I've got a problem. If I need something, he coaches how to get that. So, and you're thinking, hang on, these guys are just doing things for you for favors. No, you're learning.
Yep.
When you're learning,
and there's an exchange there.
That's right. Yeah. And while you're learning and exchange, and you're having that time, you are moving forward. Yeah. Okay, so you can make 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but that's still forward.
You struck something that in my life, right? Okay. As far as coaches that are not a trained coach or don't even know they're coaching you. I'll give you a silly example. Do you know who taught me how to drive?
The way you drive, I'd say John McCara, West Australian rally champion.
And absolutely, superstar.
Legend mentioned. And now I go, who taught you to drive?
Dick Johnson.
I see you.
No, pretty close. I taught myself to drive from the age of about 8. I watched Bathurst. Okay, and I watched the race cam every year, and I would watch him, and I was watching his footwork and watching what he does, all of that, and that's how I taught myself to drive. Now, obviously, later on, my dad got involved. My dad taught me and got me into a car. And
Dickie Johnson, did you say?
Yeah. Dick Johnson taught me to drive.
Okay. Dickie Johnson is actually one of my dad's best friends.
Is that right? There we go.
They hang around with Colin. What's his name? Colin
Bond.
Colin Bond.
Yeah.
I hang around with Colin Bond. Hang around with Peter Brock as kids because they were all juniors at the time. Wow. And in fact, I tell people I was conceived at Sandown on the banks. It was it was 1964. For God's sake, it was my mother was out burning her bras.
Yeah, well, clearly other parts of her clothing as well. All right.
In fact, the funny thing was that they actually taught my mother how to drive. Right, these guys, and race.
Okay.
And then my mother beat my dad in the car race. Ooh. So then my dad beat my mother. Anyway, pretty rough time.
I can't believe you took it there. All right.
Yeah.
You know what?
So you're
being real. So I love that. I really love it.
But learning to drive with Dickie Johnson, eh?
Yeah, that's how I did it. Yeah. So when I got in the car, I was already like halfway there because I knew the basics of what I was doing, and I watched for years until I got into a car and away we get. So what I'm basically thanking you for bringing up the point because I didn't realise that I think I had a driving coach from a very early age. Yeah. And
my driving coach was John McCara.
There you go. Yeah.
As a kid, I hop in the navigator seats. Yep. I watch his hands like this.
Yep.
And because he's rigid. Very rigid in his.
Is he really?
Yeah. He's not like one of us that like this. He is like a rock. And I learned when I got into the first time getting into to learning to get my license. Yeah. My driving instructor, lovely lady, her son was a police officer. She's a beautiful woman up in Pickering Brook. Can't even remember her name. She says to me, I don't have to teach you how to drive. I have to teach you how to undrive. But anyway, so she was my coach, and so she taught. And we have when you start acknowledging that you've had coaches in your life, that coach was right at the beginning. Mm-hmm. It's called your mum and dad, right? Yeah. They coached you. Whatever you learnt, whatever you react to things that today were taught to you by your coaches, mum and dad, before you were 5 years of age.
So maybe don't be so, because full disclosure, I've been resistant to coaches, business coaches, all that kind of carry, okay? I've been resistant to it because it doesn't follow instructions very well. I like to be my own man, right? So when people tell me what to do, I've got an authority issue, right?
Well, so sit there with your coach right at the beginning and say, hey, by the way, you are a pain in the ass because I have an authority issue. and let him know.
Yep.
Because if he hasn't got the power, I say to my coaches, they come up to me and they go, and I've got some really good coaches like Sam Crawford,
right,
for Speakers Tribe, came up to me and asked me, "Are you ready to be coached?" Because he knows my power.
Sure.
Roy McDonald.
Okay, I don't know, Roy.
He's a brilliant coach.
Right.
All right, business coach. He's the man that changed my life, okay? Brought it to where I am today. He took me from 87,000 to nearly, I'm heading for my first 10 million right now. And I started here 6 months ago, 5 million.
Okay.
So I'm about to get to 10 million.
Okay, enough for the flex, mate.
Anyway, so they were there. And they said to me, "Are you prepared to be coached?" You know what my reaction was?
What's that?
Are you ready to coach somebody like me? Because I am rigid.
I get that.
And I do not want to be coached.
But what you just said to me before makes me realise that I might be resistant to being coached, but guess what? I've been coached all my life.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 And you have too.
So the door's open already.
That's right. It's just that the coaches that you've had in your life haven't got you to where you really want to be. It's about where you want to be and your future, where you've got to get to. It's not about them. All right?
No.
And this is where, so when you were coached by your mum and dad, they had a plan for you.
Sure.
But now you've got to create that plan and then infiltrate that plan, or not infiltrate. Implement that plan to suit your outcome. And there are guys out there that can do that. I can help you with that. You would make a brilliant coach.
Thank you. You know what? That's very flattering, mate. You know, I care about people. I like people to achieve the best of themselves and build themselves up. So yeah,
where could you be? And I'm going to think about it. I want you guys out there to think about what it is that you could be really good at being a coach with. Now, I could be good as a coach as a footballer or as a rally driver, which is what my friend here could also do. But what about something more personal? What if you were coaching people that are going through exactly what you went through with the that the Australian government did to you with your children?
Yep.
And you could coach those men.
Yep.
And what if you only just saved one man?
Okay. You had your humble brag before. I say this, I'm incredibly proud of this. I've saved 6 men and 1 woman from suicide doing exactly that. So looking after people, and I didn't use the term coaching. I just looked at it as supporting them through that tough place. And you know what? There's some wonderful people who are still around because of that, because we all know that's an incredibly dark place and so many people are committing suicide because of it.
Yeah.
Whatever your passion happens to be, and sometimes often your pain becomes your passion, doesn't it? So for me, obviously, went through horrendous. I lost my children to complete corruption. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's what it is. You know, people basically using children as just a vessel to make money. That's all, like money and power. But all of that aside, you got to turn a negative into a positive in life, in my opinion. And in that space, I've been very, very, very lucky, but I've also worked very hard at it to make sure I can help people who are going through the same pain as I was, because I want them to have the greatest life they can.
That knowledge that you've got out there, with a little bit of training, could be worth millions of dollars to you. Not that you do it for millions, but as an outcome, if you had $1 million coming in from income from your coaching programs as you develop, right?
Yeah.
That $1 million could be utilized in other areas. I would set it up as a not-for-profit, something like that, which is what happened.
Well, this is not financial advice.
No,
this is your opinion.
This is my thing. Because we've all, I've seen so many young girls go through adversity after adversity, become brilliant, absolutely brilliant coaches.
Good.
Right? Because they take that knowledge and they share it, and they share their outcome and inspire somebody else. And I've been on the end of a rope. I know what it's like to be at that space. And we've had this conversation, and I'm open to talking about it. But if you've got those you're in that space, reach out, right? Please, you're not alone.
Not alone.
All right.
Hey, guess what? It's community, dude.
Yeah.
Like, this is what we've been talking about on all of this. Whether you're building a home or a granny flat, sorry, a studio, you know, whether you're trying to build your personal wealth to get some more freedom in your life, right? Because that's what you're doing. It's not about money. It is about buying freedom. It is about lifestyle and actually, you know, getting to live your life purpose is a big thing. So, yeah.
But during this series, we've talked about building a plan.
Yes.
We've talked about building wealth.
Yeah.
We've talked about retirement, right?
We have, mate.
We've talked about coaching now.
Yeah.
You know, there is so much. And we haven't really never, ever talked about bricks and mortar.
Well, yeah, we should do that one day.
No, that's what this is about. This isn't about bricks and mortar are the outcome, the result, okay, of putting that community together. When you've got that like-mindedness, do you know, one of our members the other day, I said, we have this thing where we start off best thing for the week, you know, what's happening in your week. And then what's the or gratitude, you know, what are you grateful for the week, which is gratitude. Always think, but number one thing in life, and I don't care who you are, gratitude is number one, okay? Give thanks for what you've got because, you know, 250,000 people passed away last night in the world, all right? You have gratitude to get up in the morning. It's great. Use that time because you've only got one of these lives, right? Yep. You may come back as a separate spirit. We'll have to talk about that another time, but you've only got one chance here at this point. So make it work, all right? Because you're in control of your destiny. No one else is, all right?
Say that again.
You are in control of your destiny. Nobody else is.
You need to really hone down on that.
Yep. You control what you want.
Yeah.
If you just want to exist, which is what 95% of people do out there, they just exist, or you can become one of the 5%ers and get out of the rat race. And that's what we do with community. We pull them out. We get them out of there, and we get them to finish.
This is a good community. I've just brought it up there on the screen, mate. Brought to you by
1111 Ultraverse. Come on board. Learn how to find. That's another whole community.
Yeah.
That community, by the way, we've got another coin in there called HYBX, which is a hyper barter exchange card.
Okay.
So eventually you'll be able to buy property from me using your hyper barter exchange.
Yeah, that's a whole other show, mate.
Yep.
You know what? Guess what?
What?
I need something to eat. Okay.
Oh,
I'm wasting away here. And we're going to have to end the show so I can run off and nourish myself.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Jeez.
I want you to do me a favor today. What's the best thing that you got from today?
Mate, I don't know. Jeez, don't put me on the spot.
Well, you normally do it to me.
Yeah, very good point. What did I get out of today? Do you know what? I think that I get, and I've done other shows today, the overwhelming thing is there's so many bloody good people are coming together to make a new, better world. And I know that sounds bloody, I don't know, a little airy-fairy, but it's happening. There is a change. We are moving away from greed. We're moving away from that self, I don't know, being just locked into self all the time and that narcissistic sort of trait, if you like. And we're getting back to the basics. We're getting back to actually loving our community and building each other up. I don't want success if I'm sitting up there on the top. I want success, but I don't want to be alone with my success. I want to be successful with wonderful people who come with me on the journey. That's what I say.
So in one word or in one sentence, what's the best thing that you've had today?
Gratitude.
There you go.
There you go.
Guys, be strong. Be thoughtful. We're coming up to the end of the financial year, so we'll be talking a little bit about tax next week from a non-financial position.
Sure,
but and just not advice or anything like that. So just heads up for that one.
Yep.
But it is the end of the financial year, and in the new financial year, you guys need to sit down and work out what you want the next 12 months. We're going to be doing a Zoom call after this, and we'll be running after the financial year ends.
Okay.
And then we'll be bringing on a whole new team. Then you can come along and join one of our communities.
Sounds good. All right. And I think just quietly, there might be a new venue where we can all meet and be part of that community. With that, we're going to hit the road, mate. Thank you very much for being the ordinary guy.
Be strong.
The Edge Radio Australia.